a lot of good happenings at Lowcountry Local First. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down one-on-one with the Executive Director, Jamee Haley, one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores.
Jamee Haley.
Hello.
It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too.
I appreciate this greatly.
Yeah.
So here we sit, Lowcountry Local First. You're the Executive Director here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe Jamee Haley, the Executive Director?
Jamee Haley, the Executive Director. Well, I'm passionate. I'm driven. I love what I do. I think that, I am a mom, and I am even though my kids are 19 and 22, I can't stop worrying about them. Right. I love my community. I love cooking. I love to be around my friends. I'm curious. I like to learn new things. I like to learn more about other organizations besides ours and find out what they're doing in the community. That's sort of me in a nutshell. I'm a woman who feels very grateful to get to do the work that I do every day.
And let me talk to you more about Lowcountry Local First.
Sure.
According to your Instagram profile, it reads this: because local indie businesses are the cornerstone of our culture, economy, and culture, we like to co-work.
Yeah.
Oh, what does Lowcountry First mean to you?
So it means a couple of things. It means community. So the businesses that are part of our organization, and even the ones that are not part of our organization, the local independent businesses are such a significant part of what makes our community unlike any other, right? They're the people who are providing jobs for people who live nearby. They're the ones who are sponsoring the baseball teams. They're the folks that you go to church with. They're your neighbors. All of those things. And so, to me, it's creating a more sustainable economy, a richer culture, and it provides opportunity for more people when you have the chance to actually have ownership in your own business.
And you talk about, obviously, the community and businesses. Let me take you to the Good Business Summit.
Sure.
Obviously, it's a one-day event spotlighting ideas for building your company with profit and purpose, while connecting you with the like-minded entrepreneurs at breakfast, lunch, and happy hour.
We also like to have a good time at Lowcountry Local First.
Right.
So the Good Business Summit is something that this will be our 6th year to do it. Yeah, which is great, right? People keep coming back, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
And really what we try to do is highlight what we call high road businesses. Okay. Businesses that are not just doing something to make a profit, they're not just looking at their bottom line, but what we would call a triple bottom line. How does your business impact the environment, the people who work for you, the people in your community, as well as your profit, right? So capitalism doesn't have to be a bad thing. Capitalism can be a very good thing, and I think that particularly over the last couple of years, we've really seen how influential business is in both a positive and negative aspect. And if we can encourage the businesses here in Charleston to use these sort of high road business practices, then instead of being the company that's best in the world, maybe they're the company that's best for the world.
And I know there's a couple of notable speakers, that is, some of whom I've interviewed for Quintin's Close-Ups.
Oh, good.
Cocktail badges, KJ Kearney, people like that.
Yeah. So they both were on our agenda last year and were fantastic. And
Hi, Johnny and Timika.
Right? And KJ was our MC.
Right.
He's got so much great energy, but all of them have great energy.
Right.
And so some of the folks that we have coming this year are local business owners, Steve Palmer and Carolee Fowler, and they've been longtime friends, and so they're going to sort of interview each other about what they've done in their business to try to retain and attract employees. And so they're doing some really interesting things in an environment where unemployment is very low, which is a great thing, but it's also a real challenge for business owners right now. Brands taking stands. We have Sharif Abdul Malik from WeBuyBlack.com.
Okay.
And so he calls himself sort of the Amazon for Black businesses.
Okay.
And so, I mean, it's amazing. You go on there and you can buy everything from toothbrushes to, apparel for yourself or for your business from other Black business owners. So I think it's a really great platform. So he's going to be talking. We have Jennifer from Roots Hummus, who their company has taken some environmental stands lately, as well as stands against discrimination. And then we have a gentleman coming from the American Sustainable Business Council, who was formerly with a national tea company that also did the same thing, sort of a brand taking a stand. So we think that people want to work for companies that have values, and we think that that's a great way to get people engaged as a long-term employee of your company, right? So they come and they want a paycheck for sure, but if it's something that they feel like their values are aligned with that company, then you're invested in a deeper way.
And you talk about taking a stand. I know the Lowcountry Local First is taking a stand against trying to fix the flooding in Charleston.
Sure. I mean, so we joined up with the Fix Flooding First campaign and are excited to be part of that. And our building here flooded with the last rain, and we were not expecting it at all. We probably had at least 6 inches of rain in this building, and I was taking pictures and sending it to the Fix Flooding First, and then we were surveying our members. And so, it is hard for people to be able to run and sustain a business when either their home is flooded, or their place of business is flooded, or their employees can't get to work because of the roads being blocked with flooding. So we feel like this is an issue that needs to be very prominent on the minds of our local elected officials.
And you talk about local. What is the future of local businesses in Charleston in your mind?
Well, that's a really interesting question. When we started this organization, we were just getting ready to go into a recession,
Okay.
right? And so now we're an economy that's kind of like, bursting, right? Now we're at sort of exponential growth. And so I think local businesses are doing well, but they continue to be challenged with the fact that, we have a shortage of affordable and workforce housing, because if their employees have to drive till they qualify and live way away from where their place of business is, that's a challenge for that business in attracting folks. If traffic is so bad that, somebody who's living in Somerville doesn't want to drive all the way downtown every day, that's a quality of life issue. So these are all like bigger things that we are interested in working on with, of course, the people who are actually experts in those areas, right? And trying to make sure that local businesses can thrive, continue to be able to grow because they can have the employees that they need, and then also addressing affordable commercial space, because in Charleston alone, in downtown Charleston, commercial rent went up 26% in 1 year. So people who had signed their leases, say in 2008, 2009, are now being priced out of the market and don't have any place to go. And so that's also driving more online shopping if you're talking about retail. It's causing restaurants, of course, their prices are high because of that. It's also a factor in restaurants that we see closing, and it impacts service-based businesses as well. So I think we've got to be sure not to kill the goose that laid the golden egg in terms of this wonderful city that we live in, and make sure that we are providing every type of support that we can to the local businesses that help make this place so special.
And if I were to interview you for Quintin School Subs a year from now, what would you tell me about Lowcountry Local First?
Ooh, we've got some exciting things on the horizon, and that's part of what I love about my job, is it's very innovative. We remain a very nimble organization in order to be able to address the changing needs of the community. So one of the things that we are looking to launch probably mid-year next year is actually an entrepreneurship program that will be what we hope is the best entrepreneurship program in the area, but located in the communities that need it the most. So initially, we would hold this in Chicora, Cherokee, probably on Reynolds Avenue, where we're leasing a building and where we're going to be incubating some folks there. And so we're looking at a proven model that has had great success to adopt their curriculum, and hoping to start getting that ramped up, middle of the year next year, and I'm very excited about that.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, Jamee Haley, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise. Yeah, thank you.